So back at the beginning of December, I saw a post by Four Leaf Island on Instagram, a week-long design challenge where you paint one character of your choice with a different theme each day, like Neopet paintbrushes. Of course, I chose LEGO Monkey Kid's very own
Monkey King! It's good to see you, bud!
I've never ended up completing a challenge like this. I usually start and get distracted or bored, so I was dedicated going into this and really wanted to see it to the end. Day 1 was the Cosmic Brush. I actually had a surprisingly hard time with this one. I suspect the culprit being the fact that I largely ended up with a lot of cool colors in this design, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know I work with a lot of warm tones. For the most part, I only changed Wukong's colors for this design. I was having issues really working out what exactly to do, and I'll blame this on it being my first design of the week, but I did add some stuff. I put a moon symbol in his eye as a pupil, added some cute star-shaped freckles, a Saturn earring to mimic the Saturn on the paintbrush, star-shaped hair clips, and 2 rings ominously floating around his tail. I also changed some other things, like the stripes on his sleeves, the boob window, and his skirt covering only half of his pants instead of both sides with an opening in the middle. And I made his ponytail subtly a little more star-shaped, honestly inspired by Aika's hair, and I don't want to be a magical girl. And that would conclude day 1. I made a promise to myself almost immediately that all of these pieces would be unrendered half-bodies with minimal to no background just to make sure I had the energy to get these done each day, and both of those were thrown out the window almost immediately. Day 2 was the plushie brush, and for this I decided to take a step back and go very simple. I made Wukong into a plushie. For this day I actually abandoned my usual art style to go for a much softer and rounder one, and thankfully I was able to return back to my usual warmer color palette. This day was a good reminder that your first idea isn't always your best, because I sketched the first pose out and decided I wasn't really happy with it, and I love this new pose. The classic tail hug never fails to deliver. On top of simply making Wukong rounder, I did add some minimal detail to make him more interesting and plush-like, such as the bows on his scarf and in his hair, the two-tone tail, and striped fabric on both his mask and the underside of the tail. I also ended up giving him a button eye on the side, which usually has the eyebrow slit, which honestly made me wish I picked macaque for this challenge for a minute, if you know you know, and added some stitch detailing on the face and tail, and after adding my background, day 2 was finished. So, anyone remember when I said no rendering? Because I clearly didn't. Day 3 felt like it came to me in a vision, and I had to deliver. Instead of any crazy design changes, I wanted to make Wukong into a garden statue, and that I did. Once I did the coloring and laid out the plants, however, I felt like it was a bit boring, especially compared to the other two, and decided that a little shading was the way to go. I was posting these as I finished them each day and wanted to post something that I was genuinely happy with rather than just posting to post, so I think I made the right decision because I ended up loving how this one came out, even if it was maybe a little different from the challenge. The plants were super fun to draw and render, so I was over the moon about this piece. As I'm writing this script, I realized I actually only signed 2 of these pieces before posting them. Oops. So on day 4, 5, and 6, I actually didn't draw for the challenge at all. I was really busy with Christmas, trying to get Christmas art out to be posted on Christmas, spending time with family, and decidedly not resting after all of that, because the next day I decided to start cleaning, and I didn't stop until I was too tired to really draw that day. So, on December 27th, with one single day left of the challenge, I took a deep breath, kicked my single commission from my friend under the bed for a minute, and got to work. Day 4 was the clean brush, and I had said on day 2 in my Discord server that I didn't really know what to do for this day. The brush didn't lend itself very easily to a design like Wukong, and I was borderlining just skipping the day altogether when... we are so back. With one day left of the challenge, I decided to sit down and finish 4 designs in 124 hours. I took the advice I received from my server and put Sun Wukong in a maid dress, making small alterations to the design where I could to better fit the theme, and that was the first of my 4. Honestly, the Wretched brush was the one I'd been looking forward to this whole time. I have the chance to make Sun Wukong edgy. Well, edgier than he already is. For this design, I decided to use a different Wukong outfit as my base. His hoodie outfit. I put little skull shapes at the end of the strings, spikes on his shoulders, a studded choker, and changed almost every color on this poor man. To really get this one the way I wanted it, I added a multiply layer over the top half and erased it around his eyes to give them a small glow, and I was satisfied with day 5. Small detail, but I really like the way his eyebrow slit came out in this one, and I want to incorporate this specific way of drawing it into more of my art, even though it didn't make it in the final 2 pieces. Day 6 was the Lagoon brush, and I was really not feeling this brush. Honestly, I just wanted to get it done with to get to what would be my favorite brush, the Lovely brush, but I still wanted to do it justice. I again decided to use a different base outfit, the Season 4 Specials beach outfit. I thought it might be fitting. This one is super simple. I added a watery fishtail, a flower in his hair, and struggled insanely with the shirt's color, and it was done. I could finally claim my prize. Doing a pink design. I was hyped the entire time for the lovely brush. For those that don't know, I'm super obsessed with pink, and I've actually wanted to design a pink Wukong for a long time. This was my golden opportunity, and I think I nailed it. I returned back to his usual outfit as a base, but I made the long sleeves more form-fitting, slapping a loose t-shirt on top. I made his waistband look like a love letter, which I thought was genius, and changed his skirt to be more heart-shaped on both sides. I made his eyebrows smaller and drew them more in line with how I draw macaques when I chibiify him, because it's heart-shaped, really fun, and beyond that, there's not a ton to say. This design was probably my favorite alongside the garden one, although I don't want to count it too much since it did stray a lot from the challenge itself. I'm happy with the pose, the colors, the outfit, and I think it was a strong end to this challenge, especially considering it was the last of 4 in one day. If you want to see more of my art, subscribe. I'm super excited to be making this video, so if you have ideas for others, let me know, and of course, stay creative.